All right, the last one we got Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez, and boy, did we have quite the quite the little episode when we had Rose Namajunas versus Manon Fio or how Fio Rot. If you guys remember any of that, we had a whole conspiracy theory about how Rose Namajunas was going to win. She was going to finish Manon. Turns out she's not going to finish her, and she's not even going to win that fight. So that was pretty upsetting. That whole card was just really annoying, but she's still beat the division elite. She has still beat some of the best. She's only 32. She's got that sub aspect. She's durable. She's got good inside trips. Right now, she's seeing 69% of the bets, 61% of the money at minus 218. I still like. I think I still like that side. Tracy Cortez, she has a lot of difficulty passing guard. I was surprised to see that. When we see people get somebody down and then they go to attack, you don't normally see them have that much trouble. Like I forget who she was fighting, but she could not reach her. Like it was shocking. Like you're a professional athlete, you're a professional MMA fighter. You can't get by her guard at all. Like it was really surprising. So I think if her and Rose ever get in that situation, I think there's a better chance of Rose submitting her than her ever getting back up. And if Rose goes to the ground, I think she would be smart not to engage. She is a cautious striker that looks for her window, so I don't think she's going to win um, by volume. I think Rose still might throw more than her. She wants to stand, so I think the only way that Tracy can win this fight is by keeping this a standing affair. And it's one of those things. There's levels to this, and I just don't think she's at that Rose level. Only a 2-year age difference. Rose has fought a lot of really good people, and I think Tracy's fought Aaron Blanchfield is the only name I recognized. So it's one of those fights. It's another really gross odds, but Rose, it's hard to say she's not one of the best female fighters currently. Even though I know she's on the downside of her career, I still think Rose is one of the most dangerous women in women's MMA. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm not a big Rose fan at all. I have not liked Rose since what she did to Joanna Jędrzejczyk in the first fight, and I still thoroughly believe to this day Joanna was robbed in the second fight in one of the most egregious robberies of the sport. But that does not corrupt or taint my view in this fight at all because I agree. I have Rose as well. And to kind of extrapolate on that, on some things that you said and build upon that and everything, you made some really good points. For example, with the grappling and Cortez not being able to pass guard, that was at first a concern of me that Cortez's grappling would be good because that is traditionally somewhere that Namajunas has struggled in that Namajunas, if she's able to play BJJ and able to play guard, is pretty damn good
Right.
when it comes to her guard and her BJJ. It's just wrestlers that she struggles with. Um, for example, Jessica Andrade infamously slammed her on her head while she was trying to defend the single or double leg takedown. Andrade just said, "All right, you're going to defend my takedown. I'm just going to lift you up by a variation of the high crotch and just slam you on your neck, and the fight's going to be over."
Yep.
So I don't think Cortez has the strength for that. Strength for that. Jeez. She doesn't seem, even though she seems big, she seems like muscular in that regard. Like she seems well built and everything. Like you said, she just really is surprisingly not able to kind of use that, I guess, not
No.
able to muscle, not able to use that muscle advantage and that strength and power advantage to really succeed. I mean, Namajunas has choked out Angela Hill. She's choked out Paige Van Zant. She's choked out Michelle Watterson. So these aren't exactly fighters in the strawweight division known for great grappling. But nonetheless, it still finishes by rear naked choke against, great competition in the UFC and everything. Not so much Van Zant, but you know what I mean. Still impressive to get those sub finishes in the UFC against that caliber of competition. And it hasn't been something that she's used since 2017, but it's there. It's definitely there. The video of her doing the flying triangle on Pat Barry, there's plenty of videos of her grappling out there. I don't think, like you said, Cortez is going to be a good enough wrestler. She really struggled with Maria Agapova, who I believe is also fighting on this card in their Contender Series fight. And I watched that fight today for tape on Cortez, and Agapova is just not good. She's so bad. She is so terrible of a fighter, and Cortez really struggled with the position she was getting her in. It's like I said with the whole Nick and Nate Diaz quote. If you find yourself in such advantageous positions like that and you're unable to take advantage, you really need to reconsider your grappling approach. Because when you are in side mount, when you're in side control, when you're in full mount, when you have the back take, when you have a gift wrap, when you have all these different huge advantageous positions and you can barely do any damage or barely get a sub or whatever with it, ask yourself, is my opponent's defense that good or is my offense that bad? And I think for Tracy Cortez, especially against Agapova, I just think Tracy Cortez's offense is that bad rather than Agapova's defense being that good. So I don't think if grappling's a factor, as long as Namajunas is kind of in the open mat area and she's able to play guard, she's able to work from guard and do like some triangles, that type of thing, or maybe even get the back take herself. It's going to favor Namajunas. Striking 100%, 100% Namajunas. I don't even have to go on about her striking. If you've been a fan of Namajunas or just, watched her fights, watched strawweight in the past 5, 6, 7, whatever years, Namajunas, very good. Fundamental striking, leg kicks, high kicks, good punches, crisp combinations, good boxing, great footwork, great movement, elusiveness, all of that, which brings me to my other point. If you're going to try to challenge her in striking, you cannot win by point fighting because she cheated Joanna Jędrzejczyk in a point fight fest and, won. Like the only person she didn't out point fight was Manon Fiorot. And even though it was just September last year, other than being wrong, I don't remember how that fight played out. It's been a while. I only watched it live that one time. Exactly. So she's only challenged by like strikers who have power. And I don't think Cortez has power. That's mainly her kryptonite, is if you have any type of punching power or grappling power and you're just really strong like Andrade, you're going to be a good recipe to give Namajunas some difficulty. And I just don't think that's Tracy Cortez. You would think, being Brian Ortega's ex, she would learn some more with the grappling, be able to be a little bit more dominant with it. I don't know, learn some better striking. It's just she doesn't have power in any of those characteristics, and it's just not really giving me much hope that she's going to be able to do this. And I'm curious what like the money side is looking like and where the public's money is going on this fight, because all I keep hearing is people on social media riding heavy with Cortez. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. It's just my 100% honest opinion. I think they're picking Cortez because she's the finger quotes more attractive option, because all I'm seeing is just ridiculousness. Like Rose's heart isn't in it anymore. She's gardening. She's been gardening for years. If you listen to Rose Namajunas interviews, once again, I'm a guy who hates her. I don't follow her, but I hear these things in passing as an MMA content consumer and somebody who's a fan and passionate of the sport. She's been gardening for years. That's one of her main hobbies. I'm not worried that she's posting gardening videos instead of training videos. You're putting too much stock into it. They posted a picture of her from 5 years ago with a picture from her most recent fight right next to it, trying to say she looks like she's less muscular. She's not taking her training serious. It literally is the exact same picture. Maybe the only thing making them think that is like lighting, shadows, whatever, like the natural passage of time. I don't see it. I see the same Rose Namajunas. The only thing that worries me is I don't think 125 flyweight is her natural division. I don't know why she's still sticking around there. Maybe she just got tired of cutting the weight. Maybe her body cannot handle the weight cut anymore. But 115 strawweight is where she's meant to be. She has 2 wins over Zhang Weili, who isn't she still the current champion, I believe? Yeah, 2 wins over Zhang Weili. I know she lost to Esparza, and that left a lot of people very dissatisfied with a bad taste in their mouth. But I think she should really go back to 115, because the only thing that concerns me is 125 is just not where she belongs. I feel like she's undersized for the division. We saw that with Fiorot, and that's why she lost. And she's just kind of going to get bullied by some of these bigger women when they have the opportunity to take advantage of her. Like her only other UFC win at 125 was against Hebos, March of this year. Was her most recent fight. Hebos is another fighter. Why are you at 125? You were great at strawweight. Strawweight's where you belong. So that's why she got the win over Hebos, because Hebos is another strawweight who, for whatever reason, is done cutting. So I just really think she needs to go back to 115, but I don't think being at 125 is enough of a disadvantage, because I just don't think Cortez is going to be able to press that advantage. Once again, for how strong she looks and how in shape and all that, it doesn't really translate. And Namajunas is a good scrambler. She's very elusive. And like I said, that footwork prevents her from being taken down unless she's backed up against the cage. But the only person that can do that is a person with strikes that make her fearful. And that's just, once again, not Tracy Cortez. So, yeah.
I agree, man. I agree. Two things. I think that we're getting this line at minus 200s or like low 200s. I think that's a gift because she lost to Manon. I think that this would be a lot bigger gap because I think that there's a big skill disadvantage between these two. I think Rose is just a lot better. So I think we're getting Rose off a loss that's helping us with this line. And then everybody likes to post that type of crap on Twitter. And then when you look at the actual money that's going on behind the scenes, 69% of bets are on Rose and 61% of money. So she's still getting majority over there.
Yeah, that's hilarious because, like I said, you would think from social media
right,
that everybody's just heavy on Cortez. That's all I see is all this ridiculousness. And it's like, put your money where your mouth is. I don't see it.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover old spot from the bottom to the top. Hey, shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome to our podcast, Better in Green.